Milton's been one of those spots that we constantly, I'm kind of getting attacked by dogs here right now, but it's been one of those spots that many times we send you guys into and you're like, you know what, I thought I wanted to be in Milton, but now that I've seen how rural it is, I really don't like it. And so one of our clients, they asked if I could give a video tour of Milton, and that's what we're going to be doing today. I actually picked 5 different spots that I am going to be checking out, doing some drive-by through and really kind of describing what we are seeing when we are driving through this. So let's go ahead and hop in the car and do some of this drive-through. Holy crap, that was a first. So yeah, I was getting attacked by those dogs and one of them nipped at me, and then the owner came running out, get in your car. And 4 years I've been recording YouTube and I've never experienced that. All right, let's get back to our video right now though. So over here, right now I'm over at the Avalon portion of Milton. And I really wanted to show you this because like a lot of what I'm showing you today is going to be like these newer areas. And then also I'm going to show you like the downtown Milton area, kind of the main commerce segue. But this is what we're seeing a lot in Milton is you see these strips of land that are purchased up, and then you just see a row of homes. This is very common when we are talking about Milton. Now, Milton does have a few neighborhoods that are similar to Pace, where it's like actual developments, but this is the majority of what you're going to see. And you see these are little homes right here. These are only like 2 bed, 1 bath. I think there might be a few 3 bed, 2 bath in there, but they're tiny. All like right around 1,000 square feet, if not a little bit under. As we're driving though, I wanted to kind of, because it's going to take me, Milton's a large place, and that's why I picked 5 different spots to go to, is because there's a lot of land to cover. So I'm trying to cover all the areas that you might want to see. Like I mentioned, many of you are like, you know what, I think I might be interested in Milton. Then you find out it's a little bit more rural than you really were expecting, and a little bit further from the beach than you're expecting as well too, because we're talking probably a good 30 to 40 minute drive to go down to Pensacola Beach to be able to take advantage of the beach. But yeah, like so you can kind of see, we just drove by a development that was happening back there. This is Milton, guys. This is a lot of what we are going to see. But I wanted to kind of show you like an actual development in a neighborhood. That's where we're going to be going to next, to see where they actually purchased up a plot of land and put an actual development in there. It's not just this strip that we are seeing, but you can see this is rural. It's a lot of forest. A lot of people that live out here, you know, kind of have their large lots. They kind of want their privacy, and that's what we do see with Milton. But yeah, so more than anything, I just want to expose you to this area. So let me drive a little bit, and then I'm gonna turn the camera off, and then I will turn it back on once we get to this other development, so you can kind of catch your eyes on this Milton area. All right, I'm gonna make a quick pit stop though, because I just drove by this area and I wanted to check it out. This is just looks like a smaller development. The Moors Golf and Racket Club, look at that. All right, let's go ahead and check this area out right now. So you can see that there are some houses that are still being built in here. This is a nice looking little neighborhood though up in Milton. It's definitely not like what we just saw where it was just a strip of small houses. These are some nice looking homes in here, guys. So this is good to see. This is good to see that there are some options when we are talking about Milton. The majority of what you guys are looking at is kind of in this Avalon area, because it is so close to Pace. Like Pace is literally just right down the street from here, a little bit past P Ridge area. But yeah, this is a nice little development. So this might be an option if you do want to be more in this rural area, but still in a nice development. This is some good newer housing, guys. I like these options in here. This is awesome. So let's go ahead and drive through here a little bit and show you what this development looks like. All right, so scratch that. The neighborhood that I wanted to take you to, I didn't realize that it was soldier housing, and so since it was government property, probably not a good idea to be recording here. But so here what we're doing is we're going to be showing you like the main street for all the commerce that is in Milton. So we're on 90 right now. You can't see the other side, but we got a Harbor Freight, Planet Fitness, You can see over here, you know, you got your Domino's. This is kind of your main hub right here. And then I'm going to take a left up here to go a little bit further north, so you can kind of get your eyes on this main commerce hub that is Milton. So let's go ahead and go up here. I'm actually going to shut up for a second so you guys can check this out. You can see we've got Texas Roadhouse coming in up here. And now we can kind of get some eyes on this area. Now what I'm going to do, because we're coming up on kind of the old town portion of Milton, is just kind of talk you through this. You can see we have a lot of historical sites, a lot of historical buildings up throughout here. This is just a cool little area, and there is word that they're kind of trying to revitalize this older Milton area. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a spot to park up here, and we are going to kind of browse through Old Town Milton a little bit. Alright, so this is the Riverwalk portion of downtown Milton. It's pretty much like the far west portion of downtown Milton. This is just such a cool, like, tranquil spot. It's right off the Blackwater River right here, you can see behind me. This is a cool spot. I've always loved this area. They have this great, like, veteran memorial place right over here. And another great thing is they do these bands in the summertime. And let me show you guys the schedule. Actually, while I'm walking, I'm going to kind of show you this Riverwalk. You can see right here, so it looks like it's starting in April, so that's the month that we're in right now, but they have all these different bands that come out here and do this. This is super cool that they do this here. I know a lot of people do enjoy it. Now I will tell you though, like being up in here in Milton, especially coming from Gulf Breeze, is it does feel a little bit more muggy here. It does feel a little bit more humid up here since you don't have that breeze like you do in Navarre and Gulf Breeze kind of blowing across the peninsula. So you do kind of feel that. Let's go ahead. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take you guys for a walk though. We're going to walk the downtown, the old town portion. Hopefully you can hear me because there are a lot of cars that do decide to drive through there. But let's go ahead and check it out. Let's try it out and see if I can show you guys this downtown area. Real quick, as I'm kind of breaking into this little downtown area, something pretty funny. When we first moved here, we saw this because they have a few different locations. The gym. That's actually a pub and grill. So we thought it was an actual gym. We're like, oh, that's cool. It's like a small little gym that we can maybe go to. And nope, that's not what it's for. All right, so like I said, hopefully you guys can hear me. I'll try and speak up a little bit. We're going to be walking through here. We're going to continue on. So the good thing is this street is really, really short. And so we're on the main street of downtown Milton right now. You can kind of see it. It actually goes over a little bit more that way. But this is going to be your main street. The one where, as far as I could read, they're focused on kind of doing some rehab, some refurbing of this area. Kind of make it a little bit more quaint, more you know, updated. So that's kind of cool that they are bringing that into place. Not too much going on here right now. It just seems like a huge throughway street. But I could definitely see this area popping. It's just got one of those quaint feelings that I feel like people really want to experience, want to be a part of. And I can see that happening. Hopefully you guys get in there. There's a lot of cars who are blasting by here right now. But I wanted to walk at the end of the street so I can show you just how short this street really is. And you can see, let me just kind of turn it so you could. Seems almost like a ghost town right now, right? So it'll be interesting to see what this area really does look like in the next like 5 years. I'm gonna really kind of try my best to keep you updated as much as possible on this Milton downtown to see if it does pop the way that I think it's going to. And then you see at the end of the street right here, it pretty much just goes into, we start going into like older neighborhoods and such. And then that main street, that super busy bridge that we kind of went across, or that we went right next to, that's gonna go over into East Milton. And we're gonna go check out that area next so I can expose you to East Milton. Okay, so here's the hard part about Milton, because I was actually thinking I'll just let my camera roll on the outside of the car and really let you guys get the feel for the area. A lot of it's like 55 plus, and I can't be rolling with my camera down the highway at that. It's probably gonna end up falling off or blowing off. So I'm gonna try my best to, like I said, let's go over to East Milton and kind of show you that area over there, and then we'll see what we can find next. All right, you know what? I'm just gonna say screw it. We're only 6 minutes away from our next location, kind of breaking into East Milton. I'm not gonna go too deep into East Milton, but I'm gonna leave the camera outside, and hopefully we will be good. And then I'm gonna try and shut up as much as possible. That way you guys can really kind of take in the view of what this Milton area really looks like, this East Milton area. But let's go ahead, and right now we are leaving downtown Milton to kind of check this area out right now. As you can see, we're crossing over the Blackwater River. So pretty cool. If you want to do some tubing down it or anything like that, we do that. It's pretty cool. They got a couple companies out here we can rent tubes from. Bring some adult beverages if you like, bring some kids. And they're pretty good too about, like, everyone's like, what about the alligators? They're pretty good about knowing whether there's one that they've seen that morning, that day, the following week, or whatever it might be. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, you can see, I mean, a lot of this is undeveloped, guys. You know, all this forest right here, and with Pace blowing up the way that it is, I can easily see it. It already is moving this way, more West Milton, but as we're coming this way, I can see it easily going further and further this way, especially with, you know, you got your cantonment more north of here. I could see it definitely happening. I know a lot of the locals are going to watch this and they don't want that to happen, but with the more people who are moving in here who don't want to be directly that close to the beach due to hurricanes, due to severe weather, they're kind of choosing this kind of Milton Pace area quite a bit. And as I've already mentioned multiple times, this area is definitely much more rural as opposed to when we're talking about Pensacola, as opposed to even the Beulah area. The Beulah area used to look a lot like this. We're starting to develop a lot more. This is definitely so much more rural, and it rubs a few of you who are watching who are wanting to move into this area the wrong way a little bit. So now we're kind of pulling in. This is going to be one of our newer developments over here in East Milton. You can see it's a Lennar community. But this one, it's not just one of those streets that we mentioned, where this one is an actual development. Developer came in here, purchased land, and built an actual neighborhood in here. So you can see these houses. I mean, it depends on what you're looking for. If you don't really want the cookie cutter style house, this might not be for you. If you want more land, this might not be for you. But we really want to expose you to all the different products that you might see over here at East Milton. So this is pretty much what you're going to get. You're either going to get something more like this that's cookie cutter, or you're going to get something that's older, that's on a bit more land. That one neighborhood that we stopped by, though, that was interesting to see it. You could find definitely a few of those where you have more of your kind of like custom home built neighborhood. But yeah, this is just one of those options too, because I know a lot of you too also want to keep your price point a little bit lower. That is going to be more like this Lennar option. That is going to be more like the D.R. Horton and Adams Homes options. But you can see you don't get much land in the houses. I mean, you know, they're not right next to each other, but they're closer than a lot of you might like. And you can see they are planning on developing so much more of this land right here. I was going to turn right there to show you some more of the houses, but I just want to kind of go down a little bit further to see how large this development is going to be. This is going to be a good size one. You know, it's not the biggest, but it's also not as small as like just those one strips. And then it looks like towards the end of this road over here, there's going to be potentially another builder that's kind of daisy chaining off of this neighborhood. Let's see what we could find driving over here. Okay, yeah, so I just saw the sign. Looks like this is Adams Homes, who is going to be building over here. Looks like they have not started production, but you can see all these new houses. And we are seeing a lot of this. Majority of it was more in Pace, but we're seeing it come over to Milton because as Pace becomes more populated, it kind of starts expanding and overflowing into this Milton area. And you can see, I mean, Adams Homes is planning on building all these lots right here. So this will soon all be new development. So if you're looking for a newer development, don't mind that it's more cookie cutter. Don't mind that you don't get as much land. This might be a good option. Now, if you are looking for land, the good thing is there are plenty of properties available in Milton at a good price. Milton, when we're talking about price points, I didn't look it up the median sales price like I usually do. But it's super reasonable as comparable to like Pensacola, where your median sales price is like in the mid 200s. You're going to find something very similar here in the Milton area. Now, the thing that might raise that price up just a little bit is the fact that we're looking at farm properties. Those farm properties obviously are going to be a little bit more expensive with more land, and so that might be why that median sales price might be higher in Milton as compared to like Pensacola. All right, so as I'm here, I could see how this kind of branches off to, it looks like an older neighborhood over here. Let's go ahead and check this out over here and see what this neighborhood branching off of this new development looks like. It's great that they actually have the streets that lead into it. A lot of times you'll see like a new development coming in and the street doesn't lead into the older portions of the neighborhood. So it's like you have to go out to the main road to go in order to access the other neighborhood. So it's kind of cool to see that they actually have access to this older neighborhood over here in East Milton. Just looking at the characteristics of these houses, I would say they're probably built in like the 2000s, early 2000s. Probably right around 2,000 square foot. Probably have a lot of 3-bed, 2-bath, potentially 4-bed, 2-bath up in here. Kind of what I'm seeing, and you know, being familiar with this area a little bit more of what the outside of these houses looks like, what the outside of these houses look like, and what the characteristics are inside of them. All right, I'm gonna drive this way a little bit. I kind of, as I was going, you can't see it right now, but I'm gonna turn around so you can see some of these larger lot homes. And so you can see that sign right there, new homes. So let's go and check that out. And then on the way back, I'll check out these larger lot. Man, I am full of tongue twisters, or I just cannot talk today whatsoever. You can see there's a few larger lots in here, right? And so if you are looking for a little bit more land, you don't want to be right next to your neighbor, this might be a good option. This is in the older portion. Let's see if these signs lead us to where we want to go with these other new homes. But yeah, you can see, I mean, they have some great large lots. You know, it's got a nice looking ranch out here. So it's nice to see that you have the option of either or, whether you want to buy something that's brand new, more cookie cutter, or you do want more land. Maybe try and start up a farm or have some goats, chickens, anything along those lines, just as long as it is that the property is zoned for that. Okay, so just driving in here, it looks like these houses aren't as cookie cutter as the Adams homes, and then also the Lennar homes that we did look at. I mean, yeah, they have some similar characteristics, but at least you get some like 3-car garages over here. The houses are a little bit maybe a little bit, I mean, not much further apart. And these ones are definitely, I mean, it looks like they're still building a few that are in here. Maybe it looks like towards the end I can see some development maybe happening. But this is an option for one of like a newer neighborhood, not brand spanking new. So great characteristics. Like I said, it's not as cookie cutter as the last couple, but it's good to see that you can still buy something that's a little bit older, but it has a little bit more character in their homes. All right, as we're driving through here, guys, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and turn around so I can show you those larger lots. We saw a few of them, but we saw some great, like, looking super expansive, like 2-acre lots that were back there. I wanna go check those out. While we're driving through here, though, guys, if you are looking at purchasing real estate here in the Emerald Coast, Pensacola metro area, make sure you give us a call or text at that phone number right below. Right there. We always answer. It doesn't matter date or time. But if you're not quite ready to purchase, follow along and educate yourself on these different areas of the Pensacola metro by smashing the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up, notification bell, that way you're notified every single time we put out a brand new video. I actually sat down with a client a couple weeks ago and they're like, I mean, you do those subscribe things while you're driving? Is that the safest thing? I mean, I'm still eyes on the road, guys. I'm still eyes on the road. It's just, I think I've done it so many times that it's just like second nature anymore. So you begin to see a few of these larger lots. They're not the acre lots that I was talking about before, but a few larger lots over here with these older homes. Like I said, I mean, some of you might be looking for this. You just want more land, but you don't necessarily want enough land to have a farm, right? And so some of these might be a good option for you over here in like breaking into the East Milton area. Yeah, you can start to see like that house right there. That one might be abandoned with this larger lot. And then, sorry, you're probably looking at trees right now. But you can see some of these larger lots up in here. We are talking about East Milton. Looks like you're definitely going to be, I'm guessing majority of these are going to be on septic and then well water. And then you can see some propane tanks out there as well too. If you don't want just the electricity option, you know, if you want a gas, or I guess it would be propane, heat, and then also your hot water. But this is like, this is the property I was talking about, where it's on a large piece of land. You can see it's a great looking ranch, some great trees out here. So there's just all kinds of different options being out here in Milton. And like I said, it's definitely developing, as you can see with a few of these developers picking these little pockets of areas to put these new developments in. Alright, and as I'm driving through here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to this main intersection, and I'm just going to kind of try and drive through this commerce one more time so you guys can see that area. I'm not going to lie, the beginning of my video was totally thrown off by getting attacked by that dog. So I'm a little off of my typical right now. Usually I got everything planned out and laid out. But that kind of, I was like, holy crap, that just happened. And so I got a little freaked out, I'm not going to lie, guys. And you can see looking out right there, there's another airfield. I think it's Whitfield, it's the NAS, another airfield right across the way there. And so like that second neighborhood that I wanted to show you guys that was government owned, a lot of that was that soldier housing related kind of to this NAS airfield right here. And you see that often where you have these like kind of soldier neighborhoods where it was mainly built for the soldiers surrounding the bases in order to have the housing for them. And so like I said, this is kind of the main reason probably why that first or that second development I wanted to show you was government owned, was more for soldiers. So now you can see we are breaking closer into downtown Milton. That's where we started seeing a little bit more commercial properties up in here. Let's see, I'm going to want to be, yep, this line right here. I have noticed, and you'll see as we're coming up on this, that once we kind of approach this bridge going back into downtown Milton, it does get a little congested over here. So when you're breaking from pretty much East Milton over into downtown Milton, this bridge does get a little congested. And I think it's just because of the light. It's favored for like a small town, not necessarily a highway that's going through the middle of the downtown area. And we are crossing back over oh man, I thought we were going to look out. I thought we were going to be able to blast right through that light, but looks like we got caught. So you can see that's the Blackwater River right there, coming back over into it. Like I said, guys, there is so much of Milton, it's really hard to show you everything. I was just trying to kind of show you different portions. So we saw the Avalon portion, we saw the commercial portion, East Milton, downtown Milton. We'll see what we can do in the future to kind of try and make this run a little bit smoother. It's just so hard because it's so spread out, guys. It's nothing like Beulah, Gulf Breeze, or these other areas that we talk about, where it's a little bit more condensed. There's not as much forest in between each of these different areas. But if you are looking at purchasing real estate here, guys, make sure you give us a call or text at that phone number right below. Right below right there, we always answer. It doesn't matter date or time. But if you're not quite ready to purchase, follow along by smashing that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up. Notification bell, that way you're notified every single time we put out a brand new video. Till next time, we love you.